So 4 days ago, I saw in the news a dad that had forgotten his baby in the car the whole day, and basically the baby died of dehydration. And they made psychiatrists. Well, I actually wrote it down because I'm a professional. So her name was Fanny Jacques. I'm French, by the way, so if you couldn't tell. Fanny Jacques. And basically, they brought her on TV so she could explain the psyche behind it and like the psychological reasons behind it, and also just so she could like emphasis on the fact that it can literally happen to anyone, and how and why it can literally happen to anyone, and how the father should not be blamed, and da 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 da. And so basically she was really just explaining about how it could happen more often. It happens really more often than you think. But yeah, so she was explaining basically that in our daily basis, in the day-to-day life, oh my god, it's really shiny, I'm so sorry. We use two types of memories. So there's the memory of habit, and that is basically, you know, like you have the habit of doing certain core chores every day. In French we say métro boulot dodo, that's what we say. So basically you wake up, you take your breakfast, you shower, go to work, transmute, come home, sleep, eat, you know your habits. That's what it is. And that is the sort of things that you do without thinking about them, because you're just so used to doing them. And so now we just, like she said, it was like you're hypnotized in a way. When you do those daily things that you have the habit of doing, you don't even think about them anymore, because you just do them so often. So it's really just muscle memory, and it's not funny, but also the most like car accidents that happened are the ones that you take when you're on the road to go back home, and the nearest to your homes, because those are the corners that you know the most, so you don't even pay attention that well anymore. And that's this kind of memory and habits. And then there's the second memory. I don't know how to say that in English. I didn't even look it up. I'm just trying to do my thing here. I'm doing my thing. I'm not a philosopher. I'm not an expert. I'm not a journalist. I just want to talk about stuff that I want to talk about. So anyway, and the second memory is mémoire prospective in French. So I don't know, is prospective a word? I would say it is in English. So I would say prospective memory. So basically, this is the memories that you have for the chores that you have to do later. So things that really add up on your schedule that you're not necessarily used to do every day. So let's say you have a test. Let's say you have a presentation at work, or you have to go pick up your niece after work, or you have to, I don't know, just new things that add up on your schedule that you're not used to doing every day. And so she explained that when you are under, like when you're troubled, when you're stressed, when you're tired, when you're, basically exhausted and all that, she explained that the memory of habits takes up on the other one, and you just do everything as usual, forgetting the things that you have to do later. So when you are like, let's say you have an exam, you're really thinking about that exam, it stresses you out. So you just do everything on autopilot, and you don't really think about anything else because it stresses you out. So you just really think about that. And or if you're tired, you haven't slept in weeks and you're just tired, so your brain basically shuts off and you're just doing anything on autopilot. So that's basically what happened to the dad. He was on autopilot and he basically forgot about his perspective memory and about the fact that he had his baby with him that day, and he left his baby in the car the whole day. So when I was watching the news, I was watching with my mother, and as a mother, she was really moved by the story. She was really feeling for the father about the fact that she really put herself in his place, like, oh my god, he's gonna beat himself up over it forever, he's gonna feel guilty about it forever, he's gonna hate himself anyway, all that. And then we got to talking, and first thing I was like, do you think when I was younger you could have forgotten me? And she was like, I don't think so, because you were like literally my whole life, and even your father complained about that, that the fact that she was looking after me more than after him. But it could have happened, because I remember, I don't remember because I was little, like I was a baby, so I don't remember, but I know that she has been really stressed essentially her entire life, but especially at that time it was difficult in my home and everything, so I knew she had a lot on her shoulders, and she could have forgotten me. But then we both share our experiences about being on autopilot, you know what I mean? Yeah, of course you do. So it's not complicated. So she explained that one day, as it happens to many of us, you just cross the road without really looking left or right, and you're just like in your thoughts, and you're just walking, and then there's a car, and you're like, oh, sorry, my bad, I'm so sorry. And she explained that something like that happened to her not long ago, and I was like, damn, me too, girl, like me too. Not because I'm, in that sense, I could say that I'm really like my mom, where I tend to keep things for myself and just have a lot on my mind at all times, So it's really dangerous. It's literally deadly. It can kill people. It can literally kill people. And same, I shared the similar experience that I had, where I was crossing the road and I was so much so in my head that I forgot to even look anywhere, and I just crossed, and thank God the car was not too close for me. But who knows what could have happened, right? And then I explained to her that one day where I was that was at that day. It was not. When I was going to buy some stuff at the store, at the supermarket, and when I went to the cashier, I basically like put my things in a bag, and then I was like, bye, and I almost forgot to pay. I was so in my head. I was like, I was not paying attention one bit to what was happening around me, and I was like just being on autopilot. Literally, I was like putting my stuff in my bag, bye, and I was like, I forgot to pay. And I was like, and there was like this moment where we were like looking at each other, and I was like, oh right, I forgot to pay, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. And that never happened to me, and that was like an alert to me in my head, where I was like, damn, I'm really not doing okay, I'm really thinking about a lot of stuff, and I'm not in the present moment. I'm making sure, or I'm really trying to practice being in the present moment. It is so important, because if you're not in the present moment, as I'm often so much in my head. I'm either in the past or in the future, or thinking about stuff that could have happened but didn't happen. Stuff like, I'm really that kind of person that is really stressed about everything. It's so shiny. I have to take it off actually, because it shines too much. So I notice myself never really being in the moment present, and if I'm not in the moment present, then I'm not living. You know what I mean? I'm imagining. I have anxiety. But I'm not in the moment present ever, and I don't live. I live beside my life. Like, this is my life, and this is me. I'm watching my life, and I'm not even watching it because I'm not even paying attention. Like, it's not even as if I'm a spectateur de ma vie. Like, I'm not even watching it. Like, I'm not even the audience of my own life. I'm literally beside my life. I'm not even living it. I'm not watching it. I'm not paying attention to it. I'm just going through it on autopilot, because that's what we do. You know what I mean? And so I'm 24, almost 25. And sometimes I have wake-up calls. Well, first things first, I'm going through a depressive episode right now, so there's that. But first things first, I have wake-up calls, and I'm really trying to. I'm like, oh damn. I'm so young, but the time is passing by, right? And those are the years that, this is my youth, and I have to live it. Even though I love being home, I love staying home, I love not talking to people on the phone, I love being in my little bed corner, in my little house, in my comfort zone, and all that. This is another thing that I have to work on and talk about in another video, but my youth is now. This is now. I'm living right now. I don't even know when I'm gonna die. I might die tomorrow. Who knows? And what would I have done? Nothing but dwell. I'm a very nostalgic person. I love to think about the past. Like, even yesterday, I think I saw a child, like, with their eating like, I don't even know. And I was like, damn, being a child, bro. I miss that shit. That shit was so cool. Like, honestly, being a child is so cool. Like, I don't think children are watching this right now, but if you have kids, if you have nieces, if you have, like, I don't know, if you just are around kids, honestly, tell them to appreciate the time being, like, because you cannot go back in the past, sadly. Even it doesn't matter how much I dwell on it, how much I am nostalgic about it, how much I think about it, it's not gonna come back to me. And my future hasn't happened yet. And sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, sure, yeah, I only have to think about right now because, tomorrow hasn't happened yet, and yesterday was yesterday and happened already, so why am I even thinking about those things? And of course, this is, questions that every human think about. We're like, yeah, of course it makes sense, right? But we're all still very anxious and all still very nostalgic, even though we know that the answer is right before our eyes. It's just been in the present moment, actually. Not too long ago, I saw this TikTok, which obviously, as I said in the previous video, TikTok is my main source of information, motivation, and entertainment. But anyway, so I will link her TikTok below. But there was this girl saying basically that she read not a long time ago phrase that stuck with her, and the phrase was "be where your feet are." In a way that if you're at work, be fully at work. Like, don't think about what's next. Don't think about today, tonight, tomorrow. Don't think about yesterday. If you're at work, just work. If you're like with friends, be with them, fully present in the moment. It's really, as I said, practicing being in the moment present. And I feel like this is such a powerful phrase because it really grounds you. Like, there's literally nothing else that grounds you better than your feet. Like, your feet are on the ground. It's literally like an exercise about grounding yourself. So be where your feet are. And she also and she continued, and the it really also stuck with me because she then goes on to talk about how, you know, your worries, all they do is cause you pain and chronic illnesses and pains. And this is something that I really connected with and related to because obviously since I was young, as I said, I keep a lot of things for myself, and even when I talk about them, it's not too much. You know, I don't want to be a burden for people, so I don't say too much. So just a little hint. But honestly, my suffering is made on this bed. I cry to my stuffed elephant right here. His name is Sherlock. So say hi to Sherlock. But everything I keep to myself, you know. So obviously my pain shows and manifests itself if it can't get out with words, with, you know, all that. I cry. I'm a crier, okay? So I do cry. At least it comes out that way. If you don't really deal with it, if you acknowledge it, right now I'm only at the step where I can rationalize and acknowledge my pain, but I don't really have the tools to deal with them. So my body is trying to deal with it its own way, and so I'm starting to have chronic pain, and that's where I really got scared, and I was like, damn, I don't want to have chronic illnesses because I'm stressed out. Stressing out causes you to be sick, literally sick. And that shit is scary as hell because I'm experiencing this and I'm so young. For instance, I think if English is the same as in French, where it's Cyrus. Anyways, you know, those things that you have in your head, on your head, because you're stressed the fuck out. I have that. I have so many things. Well, my weight, of course, it's not all because I'm stressed out, but my weight has always been a thing. You know, I would lose weight, gain weight because of stress, because I would eat my feelings out, or when I'm stressed, I don't eat, or now I eat a lot when I'm stressed. Like, it's showing, you know, you don't want to talk about it, but your pain is showing, girl. And even though it's not pain, your stress, your worries, your sorrows, I don't even know what my sorrows are, but there is definitely sorrow, your grief, your everything is showing in one way or another. Oh, ooh, not my credit card. So I'm almost 25 and I am trying to glow up, at least mentally and psychologically. And as my frontal lobe is developing and it's reaching its highest potential, I have to go with it. And so these days I'm really trying to find practical ways to put myself back in my head. You know what I mean? I've spent so much time in my head that I have to find really literally practical ways to get out of my head. Like, I even notice myself, even when I listen to music, it's not the same anymore. I don't even listen to music. Even that has become like, even that I do on autopilot. You know what I mean? Like, I don't hear the lyrics, I don't hear the music. I just sit in my head, and it's just a way to not hear the outside world while I'm thinking about my own stuff. And now a new way that I found to bring me back, or should I say bring me out of my head, is to listen to podcasts. And when I notice myself being like in my head and not listening to the podcast, I'm like, ooh, I didn't hear one thing. I don't even know what she said. I don't even know what you're talking about, girl. I heard words. I sure did. But I didn't hear you. So I'm like, okay, I'll have to rewind because I didn't hear what she said. So now I have to focus. And it really helps me to refocus and to be like, okay, here, I'm listening. And it's not on autopilot and I'm just not putting it on. And I want to enjoy music again. You know what I mean? Like when I'm like in my transmute, like I want to enjoy music. I just don't want to put music on just to put music on. I want to hear the lyrics. I want to be touched by the lyrics. I want to be moved by the lyrics. I want to notice this little detail in the music that the producer put in. I want to hear the littlest instrument in the back. I want to hear everything. I want to be here, with the musician. I want to feel in the studio. And it's kind of sad that I have spent literally 4 years in my head. So now I have to do those kind of practical exercises to, bring me out of my head. That's kind of silly, but also necessary. And I feel like it's not only me because it's the disease of a whole generation. We're all not present. We're trying one thing that I noticed, or maybe it's just me and my algorithm, and thank God I have great people showing up, but we're trying all to take back our power of, how should I say that? Of being off social media, of enjoying real life, being connected to one another, being connected to whatever, just being connected and present. And this is so important to implement in my life, to have those practical exercises to bring me back. I saw this exercise when you have an anxiety attack that I haven't had in a long time, thank God. I'm still anxious, but not that bad. Is, you have to use your senses. So you have to be like, okay, what's around me? Like I have to count 5 things around me, touch something, like 5 things around me, and use your senses to bring you back. And I think that to get me out of myself, of my mind, I have to do this as well, being like, okay, what do I see around me? What do I hear? What do I smell? What can I touch? Like, where am I? The whole thing. And as I was saying earlier, the thing is, I don't want to walk beside my life. I don't want to be beside my life. I want to be in it. I want to live it. I don't want to wait tomorrow to live. And sometimes when I have these wake up calls, when I wake up and I'm manic, I'm like, ooh, the world is mine. And when I'm like thinking positively and not being blindly positive, but genuinely being like, you can only be worried about what's in front of you. So sometimes I'm literally like, you know what? This stresses me out. I have talks with myself, like genuine talks with myself. I'm like, girl, you're stressed about that, but it's not even happening yet. Like, be stressed about it when it's in front of you, literally. Like, I have to do, like, I don't know how to say that in English, but taxes? Les impôts? I don't know how to say that in English, and I won't look it up. Or, okay, I will. Just wait. I'm trying to be professional here. I brought up the mic. So there's that. Ooh. There's this guy. Every time he messages me, I know he's asking for something. So I hate opening his messages because I'm like, now what do you want from me? Oh my God, I have to do this, by the way. So how do we say that? No, it cannot be that. Poo. Taxes, yeah. I don't know. Anyways, we have to do our taxes. And I'm like, put it enough, and it's stressing me out. And I'm like, girl, why are you thinking about it? You're at work. Don't think about it. Don't think about it right now, because it literally cannot do anything about it right now. So, and now I've thought about it, and I'm like, ooh, I will think about it later. I have to think about it, though, so I don't forget to do it. But, if you're stressed about, I don't know, a date, you can have, butterflies, having butterflies, being stressed a little bit about something is not bad, but like throwing up, crying and shitting because you're stressed is not. I also think it's not really fair to your, the people around you, the people you love, the people that love you, your friends and family. And I say that for myself as well. Like, I'm not even blaming you because I do it too, girl. But sometimes I'm so much in my head that I'm not even with other people. When I'm with them, I don't enjoy the moment. I never really enjoy the moment. And I honestly, the vibes that I bring to the function are that. Bitch, you suck. Like, this is the vibe that I bring to the function, and I hate this. And I don't want to bring this vibe. Lately, I don't want to see people, but that's not because I don't love them. It's only because I know my vibe will suck and ruin the party. That's another video as well. So, getting better is also for your friends, your family, and of course yourself, because you like okay, this is gonna sound cheesy, but literally YOLO, like you only live once, and especially even more than that, you don't just live once, like you live now, YOLO, but also yarn, you know what I mean, also yarn. That's what you have to take away from this video. Honestly, this video was not really structured, as I explained in my first video ever on this channel, is that none of them are really structured. It's just a stream of consciousness. So it's really messy. It's not really. Also, I stutter a lot because I'm French. I stutter a lot in French anyway. But if you enjoyed this video, if you watched it till the end, I encourage you to comment a flower and yarn. No, comment yarn. YOLN, because YOLN actually, period. So to conclude this video, thank you for watching, and the takeaways from this video are: be where your feet are, for yourself, because you only live once. Yawn, this is another takeaway. Yawn, literally. And also, if you have exercises that you do, or that you can comment down below so we can help each other to, be present in the moment. And if you have like any tips and tools to know how to bring yourself back out of your head and, to get better for the people around you, if not for yourself. And if you love people in this earth, do it for them.